So what does OW stand for?
Open window. Yeah, it's like I used to say 64 chart, but it's open window 64 chart. Santos, if you want to join us now, great. We'll hold off on our recording. Otherwise, keep your video off and audio off until we're done recording. It'll just be 15 minutes.
Good.
So, Santos, you want to take yourself off mute and tell me what you want to do? Do you want to chat now or chat later?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Last time I was here, I could not speak. Anyway,
okay.
I will wait till the end. I just
Good.
want to listen in.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
So it's just Brenton and I. Okay, everybody, welcome. This is our weekly Harada Excellence Training, and it's really more for the Harada coaches to come in and share stories and see what they've done. But we've got a wonderful discussion today. It's about discovering the 6 keys to unlocking success. And this is about aligning our goals. And this inspiration actually comes from a video or 2 videos that I saw from Japan, which I put up on the website. It's under From Japan. I think that's where I'm going to put it, somewhere there. And it's Shohei Ohtani and more importantly, Takashi Harada talking about successes from other students. And he gave up 6 keys. I'm going to tell you them right away, and then both Brenton and I are going to dig into those. So 1, team-wide goal creation. So important that you do it as a team. Number 2, clarity and specificity. I'm glad I got it right. Number 3, motivation and energy. Number 4, implementation and consistency. Number 5, visualization and emotion. And number 6, the last key, which I think is great, affirmation and alignment. And it works both for businesses or individuals. And maybe Brett and I'll give a little summary of each, and then Brett and I'll just chat about each from our experiences. And then we'll just move to the next one. This one's team-wide goal creation. Okay, so Takashi Harada emphasizes that excellence begins with team alignment. Goals should be created collectively and shared openly. This ensures all members work together for the same purpose. Okay, do you have anything to chat about there, Brenton?
Yeah, look, I think that's spot on, George. And that engagement with the team and having them engaged and aligned with what the goal is. And just as a standing back from it, I was really delighted when I read all 6. I think it adds another dimension and perspective, I think, which we often don't bring to goal setting or goal statements. It's typically goal equals smart goal. And that's about it. So I was really pleased to actually read this and actually see that next level of engagement. But coming back to the first one, absolutely team engagement and very much about engaging the team and not being, here's the goal, sort of one-way street. I think that's the other point that I'd make around that.
Yeah, and it's, he usually teaches teams. And in this video, he talks about, soccer and Japan beat Brazil. I didn't know that. First time ever in history. And they want to go for the World Cup, which I just think it's shockingly, impossible. Okay, seemingly impossible goal for Japan to win the World Cup. However, he was asked, what would it take to win the World Cup? And he says, it'll take, and I asked Nariko because she speaks Japanese. She says, George, you got it right by blank. And I'm going blank. It was the AI that just didn't understand what was said. But she says it's such and such. I think everybody has to decide what's best for the team, and they go for that. And they're all together. And I also remember in the discussions that for that soccer game that they won, they were down 2-0, I think, at the half. And because the gentleman who is a Harada student knows better and he's senior, he got everybody up and he just motivated them to just go out and do their best, and they won the game. So, there's a lot of leadership involved there. So team-wide goal, the other thing with that is it doesn't have to be a team. For me, my personal best open window 64 chart was when I made one with Joanne, and I sat her, I didn't sit her down. You don't sit any woman down. She sits you down when she's got a chance. And then you're saying, can we create the future together? And I was so glad she was open to this, And we achieved our future. We did it together. Every couple years, I ask her, what's in our next 5-10 years? And it alleviates so much anxiety to do it together. Okay. Yeah. Today, Brenton, I had an amazing meeting with Ryan from DART. He's one of my clients, right? And Ryan's daughter, Lila, spelled Lyla, she's got a twin sister. They both came in, so I didn't know which one was which. But Lila said, I want to be a goalie, soccer goalie, for MSU, Michigan State University. And right then and there, we created an open Windows 64 chart for her. I sent it to him today. He posted it on the fridge, and Lila is jumping up and down with joy and so motivated to be number one. So I don't care if it's one person or if it's a whole team of people. It makes no difference. Create it with someone. That's the message.
I agree, George. I think the 64 chart, which we'll talk more about in another session, I think that will be what we see, the old SWOT analysis, which is widespread throughout business. I think the 64 chart will be as big or bigger.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the new AI for the internet. The open Windows 64 chart will be the new strategy tool for business.
Yeah,
I agree. Okay, so clarity and specificity. Harada teaches that vague goals produce vague results. And, how true is that? So in OW64, even Ohtani's personal chart, he was shooting for 170 kilometers an hour, even though he put down 160. But that's like over 100 miles an hour. And that's very specific. And he wanted that so that he would catch the interest of the scouts coming to see him. So be very specific when you can, and you can achieve it. Where you are specific, it's excellent. So the Harada method turns these inspirations into structured step-by-step actions that build your confidence and your accountability, both to yourself and to your coach.
So, I think that one, George, I think when I was saying earlier, I think the SMART goal, I think most people who are tuning into this conversation would be more than familiar with that. It's those other five, maybe the other four. I think they're the ones that I think will be some more insights than perhaps we've exposed in the past.
Yeah, everybody knows to do it. And with the SMART goal, it's kind of interesting because I never used to think that part of the process of creating a goal is that you should care. But in this case, in the Harada method, you really have to care about the goal and where you're going. Okay, motivation and energy. So when a goal connects to a meaningful purpose, here's what I'm talking about. Intrinsic motivation grows exponentially. Yeah. It's almost like that chart I was talking about in the past versus you have to do something versus you want to do something, and the difference in productivity. And when you want to do something, it is exponential in growth. When you have to do something, you stop after you achieve it and you start declining. So Harada explained that the national team set out to win the World Cup to inspire the nation. And this is, again, when I was reading the text, because it was all in Japanese, I think they just had an earthquake or a tsunami or something, and it devastated the countryside. And that's what was intangible for others. He wanted, and the team wanted to, give everybody courage and motivation. That was by winning, they would give the country courage and motivation to continue, and they needed it. So it's a much higher purpose than just winning for yourself.
And I think in a business or in a workplace context, George, I think this piece of thinking around, don't think of it as work, think of it as life. And I think that sort of just shifts the headspace to start bringing that kind of motivational thinking. So when you're coming into your workplace each day, it's not coming into work and your job, it's actually it's life. This is life about you achieving the best that you can achieve within that context. So I think that motivational one is a good lead in to that more subtle thinking around where you're heading with this conversation.
Yeah. Do you care? Do you care about the goals you're trying to achieve? So that's good. Implementation and consistency is the next one. So the Harada method revolves around disciplined daily action. No one knows that better than me. Whether through self-managing routines or consistent reflection, implementation ensures goals are translated into habits. So really, you're taking the goal and taking small steps to get there. Your motivation builds. As these small steps happen, it creates a habit. And what I heard Harada say was amazing. He said, your open Windows 64 chart, this is not like a tool. It's a habit. When you create this tool and you use the tool and you mark things off, marking them off, completing one OW64 leads into the next. This is I think he called it success skill, right? And success, he says, is a skill versus, something that's left to chance. And I would agree based on what I've seen with Shohei Ohtani and others. Success is a skill here, and it's related to OW64. What are your thoughts, Brenton?
I think one of the things I wrestle with quite a bit is actually shifting from being in an organisation reactive to being proactive. And I think the Harada and what you're describing there, those small steps, what are the one or two things I'm going to do today to take me closer to my goal? I think getting that shift is part of the real secret to success into the future, which is what you're speaking to. But it is quite a bit of inertia where you've got a situation where someone comes into their workplace and sort of, what do I have to react to today? And turning that around to becoming proactive. I think Harada, for me personally, has been the key to actually shifting to being proactive and creating the future, and rather than reacting to what's in front of me today.
You're saying this, and I'm thinking firefighting. After I think firefighting, I think root cause analysis. Yeah. After I think root cause analysis, because it's like a long process, then I start thinking, well, what if you're solving a problem that really shouldn't exist in the first place? Why don't you head it off at the pass? We keep on digging a deeper hole to get out of the hole. Why not think of the future? And then some of these problems you shouldn't be working on because it's taking you away from your future vision. So that's what I was just thinking of. Very, very good.
There's a fellow here in South Australia, actually, I recall the story where he came in to turn a business around, and one of his catch cries was, the first question's free. And so, well, where's the paper for the copier? Okay, I'll show you. Next question, where's the paper copy? Stop. First question's free. Now let's go. We don't want to hear that question again. I was very impressed with how he turned a business around with one of many tools, but that was one piece of thinking that speaks to what we're talking about.
Yeah, it seems harsh. But what he's doing is he's teaching self-reliance in some ways, because what do you do when your kids don't put the dishes away? Well, you pick them up because it's easier than screaming at them or, telling them again. But that's the wrong action. We're doing the wrong things to get the results, right? So they got to develop that habit, and that means, persistence on your part as a coach. Okay. All right. Visualization and emotion. Harada outlines how images, words, and emotions shape our mental world. Visualization helps teams and individuals embody success before it happens. And I remember watching this interview, and I can't remember who said it, whether it was the superstar soccer player who uses the Harada Method or Mr. Takashi Harada, but he said, I think it was the soccer player, he said, before we go out in the field, we're envisioning how the winning goal gets scored by me. Everybody's doing that. So they're putting themselves in a future situation of success, and they're visualizing that success. Now, whether you put up posters on your wall, or I don't care how you do it, on your desktop background, or, it doesn't matter. Visualizing the future is key. What are your thoughts?
I think when I was reading it the first time, I'm thinking, yes, that's so true. I mean, there's sometimes a hesitance, or sometimes there's sometimes a move towards a goal said, yeah, I got that smart goal. Yep, got it. And off you run. No, stop, come back. No, sit down. No, think it. What I'm putting to you is some deeper thinking, and that's when I was reading through the six points there. This is so true, and I think it's too many of us. Yeah, I got that, and off they run. Smart goal. Yep, here I go. no, come back. No, let's talk about the subtleties around that. And I think that's I've seen this in other areas of, 5S and quick change and a whole range of different areas. It's really about, let's think about this. There's another dimension here that we need to talk about. And so when I read that, that's what came into my mind.
Yeah, that's really good. And I was thinking about sometimes being able to describe the outcome that you want. And I call it, the desired outcome for the individual going through the process. So when I do a meeting, I always ask, what's the purpose of the meeting? And what's the desired outcome? I want the bookends to understand how I can help you. So that's like critical for me. And visualization that's what I'm doing. What's my best outcome for the meeting today, as an example?
That's the old PAL, George, the PAL, the purpose, agenda, and limit, time limit.
Oh, good. I've never heard that. Time limit's important too.
It is, yeah. That's right.
Good. Okay, last one. Affirmation and alignment. Okay, affirmations are how Harada Method closes the loop. This I remember because Norman said to me, George, you're going to find a mantra. And he says, mine is, I'm going to get better and better every day in every way. And I've heard it before, but when Norman says it, he's not kidding. He wants to get better and better every day in every way, because he was seeking at the time more like perfection, like he wanted to be an enlightened person. And that's what he was focusing on. So aligning thought, emotion, action, and Harada's recurring phrase is, we will win, and give courage and energy. So always he's looking for winners, right? And it doesn't have to be just soccer or any sport. So this captures the unity when alignment is achieved between goal and purpose, breakthrough performance follows. So this is like one of the missing links. Alignment, goal, and purpose. And I think we talked about purpose last time. It's like a gas pedal to your goal if you have purpose.
Yeah, look, George, as you're speaking, and I see when certainly my life and my experience, once you start going down the pathway of seeing the power and using Harada, you actually start seeing, well, that's only one plate spinning in my life. And you get that plate spinning, there's my goal in that area of my life. Okay, what about this area of my life? What about my work, my home life, my personal life? And you start getting all these plates spinning with the same piece of thinking you just talked about.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, I don't know if you know this, Brenton, but I'm creating a Harada 2.0 app. Okay. I found the OW64 chart workshop, which is the teacher's workshop that Takashi Harada taught and the teacher of Shohei Ohtani learned. I found it all, and I'm rendering it now. And one of the things Takashi Harada must have given to Norman, who used it on me in Portland, was this pyramid. He says like 3% of what you do is conscious. I got all confused. What do you mean conscious? Like you have to think about it. And 97% is subconscious or unconscious. So an example would be like you're driving home from work, and you're driving home, and sometimes, if you do it enough times like I have, you don't even know how you got home. You just, I can't believe I'm home. I don't remember driving. Okay, because you're tired all day and your brain just took over. You did this unconsciously. You drove home. Okay, when you're doing something consciously, it means you're using your prefrontal cortex. You're concentrating on what you're doing. It's very important when you're learning a new skill to concentrate. That is 3% of the use of your brain. And when you create a habit, you're moving that 3% to the 97%, and then you're able to take on more, because there's only a limited amount of stuff you can do deliberately. Okay, that's why in the lean world or in problem solving, we say deliberate problem solving. You got to do it deliberately because you're learning a new skill. Okay, so that's it. Any last thoughts on just general 6 keys?
Just picking up on just what you're saying there, George. I mean, I when I first came across that piece of thing with Norman, it took me a while to kind of work, and I'm still probably working through it. But it occurred to me that when you're running for the first time doing a 64 chart, where you're confronted with, okay, fill a 64 and you've got 33 minutes or 35 minutes, you are in that headspace. you're really focused on what you're doing. And I think that's an example of that sort of thinking. And I think you've seen, and I've seen you operate as well with using AI to fill in some. You can't quite get the 64. AI can actually help complement what you're doing there. But certainly that 35 minutes or 40 minutes of concentration of creating the 64 chart, I think that speaks to what you're describing.
Yeah, I think the ideal situation is you're doing this on your own with your own brain power.
Yeah.
Ideally. Takashi Harada says the most critical part is those 8 pillars, like 8 focus areas. They call them pillars. Yeah. So around your goal, if you have the right 8 pillars, and one of them is geared towards service for others, one of them is a service pillar, like I do the OW64 meetings, that's a service. Yeah. I'm doing this meeting, that's a service. So doing a lot for service is really going to help you, but it's critical that you got the right focus areas. And then from there, I filled out my 64 chart the first time I did it, 32 minutes. I really had to struggle. It's after you get your goal, you got 32 minutes, or 4 times 8 is 32. 4 minutes per pillar to just get 8 tasks and just throw them out there. And what a difference! And here's another key for me: what a difference thinking about the future you versus where you are today. Because we know the Harada method is about starting with the future and working backwards, not where you are. And the future me was like the best business person in the world. That was the future me. Well, what do they have to do? And I'm thinking, okay, it's not what I'm doing. Nothing I'm doing is this person. So here's what they have to do. And then, of course, you're going to put the support you need. So next week, we're going to talk about a different topic, and I hope our listeners get some value from these meetings. If you do, connect with myself or Brent, and let's chat about it. This is part of our service. So go ahead and do that. Brenton, last thoughts?
I think only around this idea around deeper thinking and this tendency. Yeah, I've got that, George, and you run off. Well, actually, no, you haven't really got that. Come back here. Think a bit more deeply. And I think I see examples of that quite often, and I think what this exercise and reading through the notes has reminded me of those subtleties. So thanks, George.
Yeah, no problem. And this is about goals. So you really should think about all of these when you're creating a good goal for yourself or your company, and how do you motivate them? Okay, we're going to open it up for questions from our audience, and you guys take care, because we're not going to record these as part of our service. Okay, thank you guys. Take care.
Thanks, George.
Santos, if you want to join us, go ahead, join us. We're not going to...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. George and Mr. Brenton. Last week I joined you from work. I'm not allowed to show my image there.
Okay.
And this week I just ran off of the turkey table to come have a conversation with you.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
We're having Thanksgiving a day early.
Yeah.
Run a business during Thanksgiving, so
nice.
We have to change the schedule a little bit. I really enjoyed this segment you did today, and having started last week, as I mentioned in the little comment that I put in, I am a Toastmaster, and we have goals for our clubs in order to succeed and help Toastmasters succeed. I heard about this program, ironically, through my employer, who my manager created a book club, and I am one of the people who volunteered. We're reading the book, and it really has struck me that this is something I want to do. In my Toastmaster role, I am a trainer. I train officials for Toastmasters. But what I would like to do is really learn this method and put it to practice in my Toastmaster world.
Wow.
Teach them how to plan, how to commit to their goal. And if their goal, and Toastmasters generally have a goal of becoming better speakers and better leaders. If that is their goal, then I want to help them to do that. And by teaching them, of course, I'm going to learn, so that they can help me that way. So that's why I'm here. I was supposed to be at a Thanksgiving dinner, but I sat through my dinner and I listened, and both the turkey and your conversation were great. So,
okay, if I was better than the turkey, that's not saying much. Okay, however, so it's funny. Do you, Santos? I got a little bit of time. If you want to create an OW64 for the Toastmasters organization, I'll help you do that now.
Like right this minute?
Right this minute. It takes 10 minutes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so do you want to, you might as well put yourself, show your video, because it's not going to be shown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record my screen with my picture beside it. That's all the video is going to be. And I hope you release the information. It should be general enough, because it's coming out of AI. It's nothing personal for volumes or anything. Okay, let me share my screen.
Well, okay.
While you're doing that, George, so Santos, as you're listening to George and I speak, and George was going through those 6 points, were there any thoughts that you had that came to your mind as we were going down that path that you wanted to just to say? I mean, the things we were talking about, we're providing our perspective. There's anything that came to your mind just while George is setting up?
Yes. What caught my attention for today's subject is that you were talking about teams and how to get teams to work together, which is what I need to do with particularly my 2 clubs. But I would also like to teach that to all the clubs that in my district, to teach them how to become one and work together at their goals. Anything
George said that really resonated with you?
Well, I was chewing.
Okay. No, that's okay. No, Santos, that's okay. I think George is ready to roll, so I'll go back. I'll let George continue.
But
oh no, it was a great question. Go ahead.
Yeah, a question that did derive from that is how do I listen to the recorded program so that I can go back?
I put it right up on the website. So I don't send within my timing, within like 2 hours or 3 hours. I have this thing right up on the website, theharadamethod.com. And then you'll go to meetings, and then it'll be number 3, which is goals. I've got an old recording there, so when I record this, I just change the link, and it's this video. Yeah, and it's right on the website. Okay. You'll see it there. Now, okay, and you could decide after this whether you want some of your comments in there and you want your 64 chart in there. So let me take you through this quickly. How much time do you have?
I have time.
Okay, then we're going to have a good time. All right, here we go. Now, yeah, this is it. Okay, share. So what I'm going to do now is, let me stop sharing and let me make sure I got this right. So share a portion of my screen with me beside it. Yeah, this is right.
So I just showed up. I'm showing up over there because I'm switching over to my computer rather than my cell phone.
Okay, go ahead. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is open up the AI. Okay, I'm actually going to wait for him. But that little girl, Lila, I deleted her 64 chart. I really should have had it on here. I'd love to show you what she's going to do. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's do this. So what I do is I take out one of my forms. I'm going to copy it. Here it is, copy. And I'm just going to paste this on my desktop. And then I'm going to open this up. And what you're doing, Santos, is simple. You're going to tell me your goal. So you've got 2 that you're responsible for, but you want to pick a long-term goal, something in the future that you could be really excited about. And you want to date it, give it some specificity as far as a date goes. So let's pick the right goal, and then we'll go ahead and create your 64 chart. I should call it an OW64. I've been calling it a 64 chart for years, Brenton, and I got corrected. I got corrected by Noriko. She said, George, it's an OW64. And so that's it. Okay, give me a goal.
I want to be the subject matter expert in this subject for our district, Toastmasters district.
Okay. Now, you'll notice I made a change to a word, right? I am.
I am.
Not I want
am.
to be. There's words that are strong and words that are weak. I am is the strongest because you're putting yourself there.
Mhm.
Okay. So I am the subject matter expert in the Harada Method for the Toastmasters district. But why not more? Let's say what's next, because one of the things that elevates your thinking is, let's say you are. When were you thinking of doing this by? Within a day, you could be the subject matter expert. It's a done deal. So, but let's just say for a second, you've implemented in Toastmasters for your 2 divisions. What's after that? What do you think, Santos? Give me another go.
Let's see, let's say I would love to create a club specific for the Harada Method. So this club, the members in this club would all come there to learn about this method and be able to teach it to the rest.
Wow, good. So what I'm hearing is this. Now, by the way, I love is better than I want to. So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your title when you're doing this? I am the what? Okay, I'm gonna give you a title. Certified Harada Coach, representing all of the Toastmasters divisions. What do they call, districts or Toastmasters chapters?
We're in districts. Yes.
Yeah, districts in the
Typically,
world.
we have 5 divisions.
Okay, so how many are there in the world? Do you know? Lots.
It kind of moves around, but there's hundreds. Yeah.
Oh, good. And so does this seem like too much for you? You are the certified Harada coach representing all the Toastmasters districts in the world.
It is very possible.
Okay, I love it.
Our CEO is in California.
Okay, by when?
And the furthest one out, I would say, give me 2 years.
By December 2027.
2 years. Yes.
Okay, now, this is a title. How are you going to measure? So I'm a certified Harada coach with how many certified practitioners do you want by then? How many certified people that are using you as a coach as they practice? How many of those do you want by then?
35.
Beautiful. Okay, with 35 practitioners of the method. And I'll put that in brackets because that represents something we can measure. Don't want just the title, you want to be actively doing it. Okay, let's go to the AI now. This is what Brenton's talking about. So I'm going to pull my AI in and I'm just going to put it in the window here. And I'm going to start asking it questions. I am in the OW64. I'm going to close my web page that it created for me. All right. First thing I'm going to do is tell me about Toastmasters. I'm asking the AI, and I want you to confirm, Santos.
Mm-hmm.
Toastmasters, what do they call them? Groups, chapters, districts?
Districts.
Okay. Give me volume, membership, and any competitors. That's what I want to know. Because if you're losing ground, this is where the OW64 and the Harada Method will knock it out for you. Okay, 125 districts. How many did you say? 100?
Yeah.
Membership of 280,000 members. This is amazing. 14,000 clubs across 145 plus country. It actually, I don't know if it's making this up. Does this look about right?
It's
okay. Competitors are your Dale Carnegie, TEDx clubs, Rotary public speaking programs, local speaking or speaker associations, professional coaching associations. Those are your competitors. So this is good. We
have an agreement with the Rotary Club.
Oh, you do?
We work together.
Nice. All right. I have a goal. My name is. Are you okay to share your name, Santos?
Yeah.
Santos Nazario Camacho. Camacho. What you're going to tell me about your background later. Okay. And then what's your title there?
Toastmasters?
Yeah.
I'm a president of 2 clubs and the district logistics manager.
And district? What does the logistics manager do?
Basically, I arrange for venues for district meetings.
Nice.
And provide food.
Good. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this now because this is a really good goal. I'm going to call back my AI, which is right here. Okay, let's create an OW64. I'm just going to tell it. It'll probably ask me, what's your goal? Center goal, your big goal, become a distinguished, influential, high-impact Toastmaster leader. It's assuming you're not already. But 8 pillars. Oh my, it's already got the 8 pillars of becoming a leader. By the way, this is for your people, so you can just give every one of them this. I'll send this to you. This is a freebie. Okay.
Great. Appreciate that.
Good. My goal, okay, Santos, goal is related to the Harada Method and certification and training, etc. Goal is Control V, paste. Great. Now, that's the goal. I don't know if it's going to get it right. I don't know if it's going to get the 8 pillars. But here's one. Purpose and mission. Another one. Certification and expertise. Another one. Training others. 35 practitioners. It's already got that in there. Another one, Toastmasters Global Outreach. Another one, Leadership and Influence. Another one, Systems and Operations. Another one, Personal Discipline and Habits. Very good. I'm so glad it has it in there. Relationships and Community. That's your OW64. So what we could do, what I normally do is I say, let's go through one of them. And we could do that, but I want to give you the option if you want to dig into one of them a little more. But what I do now is I just go in here and I go paste. It didn't capture because I didn't copy it. Alt-Tab. There we go. I got to go copy first. I didn't copy the selected text. And I go paste. It's not the right, it didn't fit right. So it's not fitting right. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to ask it to format by adding a row after the pillar. So let's see if it formats it better for me, so I don't have to do any work. Okay, remove the word actions and remove, you know what, I like the pillar. Leave pillar there. Remove the word actions and replace with a blank row. Usually it's formatting it properly, but I did some other work on it and I forgot our standard. Okay, here we go. Pillar 1, purpose and mission. Define why this goal matters. I love that. You know, it's really asking the right question. So why does this goal matter to you, Santos? Just while I do this.
We are provided 10 goals by Toastmasters International. And those 10 goals are geared towards showing the success of each club. And we have the goals and we set the plan, but like a lot of other goals and plans, and it kind of sits there and no one is doing anything.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is give people something that they can follow so that they know that they're doing something.
Wonderful.
And
that's so wonderful. So here's, I'm going to give you a hint on the future then, what you should be doing with this, because I want to help you out. So pick one that you're interested in more than the others. And it's not to say you can't change these anyways. I'm going to give you the spreadsheet, change them at will. But what pillar interests you the most?
I have to look closely with small lettering. Let's see, which pillar?
Hold on.
Pillar 1.
List the pillars. Okay, so let's make it bigger lettering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not much bigger. Pillar 1, purpose and mission. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in to purpose and mission, move this down. Okay, I like number 1 anyways. It really is the accelerant of your initiative. So one of these, you might say, look, write a mission statement. We have one for the company. No, it's writing a mission statement for this. Why is this important? Why does this initiative exist? So you want to redo that. Review your mission weekly. Align actions with purpose. Share your mission with mentors. Reaffirm long-term meaning. Visualize 2027 success. There's the visualization. And track motivation levels for this program. So let's say you finished doing one of these. Which one do you think you'll be done first? Probably this one.
Defining why this goal matters. Now,
yeah,
one of the methods that we attack these things is that because we're speakers, we present speeches.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal would be to convert all of this into a speech by which I present to them.
What a wonderful way to learn.
Yeah. What you did tonight, right? And what you have been doing, I would present them a speech and give them all something to look forward to.
Nice. Okay, so this is what you do when you're done. You put a diagonal cross through it, you're done. That's it. And you keep on completing these. That's only one done, assuming you get it done. And then you got 64, and then you're getting there. Now, some of these are going to be converted into milestones or deliverables, like write a mission statement. When do you think you can get that done by? Just out of curiosity.
Sometime this weekend.
Okay,
Maybe,
so I'm going to say
Sunday night.
Yeah, but let's give it a date. So let's say by Sunday night means Monday, right? And Monday means December 1st.
That works.
2025. Okay, now I'll just type it in here because then it'll transfer it right into your OW64. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to pick the earliest 10 that you're going to either complete or start. And those 10 go on your long-term goal form in the Harada method. Okay. Another one is, so that's deliverables. You're going to do the same thing with routines or habits. So out of these, which one do you think is a habit? This might be a habit. Visualize success. I want to do that twice a week as an example. Mm-hmm. So visualize success 2 times per week. That's a routine, which is going to be turned into a habit. And then again, you put it on your routine check sheet and you track it. And then you could take this off after 30 straight weeks or, 30 straight times that you've done this. It might be 15 weeks later, but you're visualizing success as a matter of habit. Okay, this is it. I'm going to send this to you, and it's a great start. And you can always change the pillars and change all of the actions. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to ask you this. Are you okay if I share this with the world? Because it would be on the website when you say, where do I go to watch this? Yeah? Okay. Okay, stop sharing. And then I'm going to open it up. Brenton, why don't you and Santos chat while I save this? And Santos, I need your email. Do you know have you emailed me already?
I believe I have, but I can tell you what it is.
Okay, you guys have a chat and I'll see if I found it. Okay.
Okay, well, Santos, let me say that your organisation actually was one of the first organisations that I tuned into in my early part of my career, actually. So presentation skills are fundamental to any manager and any management role, and it's what I encourage young managers that I coach to tune into, particularly if their confidence is low and they need some guidance and some tools and techniques for presentation skills in front of other people. So let me thank you and through your organisation, through you, for your small part in my success.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So is it still getting a fair bit of buy-in? Are those sort of young managers finding their way to you?
Yes, it has, like a lot of other things in the world, has slowed down after COVID.
Yeah.
Getting people to become active is difficult, but I can see the increase slowly. Weekly, you might get a few people interested, and we're somewhat struggling to drag people in, I guess you could say. People have the tendency nowadays they want to be part of something, but they don't want to work that. They just want to be part of that. So we get people who say, we want to join. And then you have to define in your head, what does join mean to you? Because you might want to join in your head, but you're not coming to my meeting. Yeah. And so they present themselves as wanting to join, and that's the end of that. You never hear from them again. Yeah, I emailed them, and I have tried to communicate to people through Meetup.
Oh, yeah.
And we have it out there, and people go, oh yeah, I joined. And then you look at their profile and they've joined 600 clubs. So there's no way you got time for my club if you're in 600 other clubs. But they just want to be part of something. So it's become really difficult to get them to physically come and join us.
I think that's where the sales funnel comes in, Santos. Some people have to just think about it, sleep on it, procrastinate long enough until finally they say, this is the most important thing I got to do in my life. And I also think if you created, or even got them to create for themselves an OW64, it gives them some purpose and connects what you're doing to the vision they have for themselves, how they see themselves in the future. Now, Santos, please, I'll cut this out, but give me your email, gmail.com. Very good. Okay, I'm going to put oh, I got it here. I'm just going to click. I do have it after I type it. I want it before I type it, Okay, this is going to be coming to you very shortly.
So what does OW stand for?
Open window. Yeah, it's like I used to say 64 chart, but it's open window 64 chart.
So it's a software?
No. OW64 comes from the mandala. The mandala is like 800 years old. And the open window 64 is what we call the chart I just made with you.
That's the chart. Okay.
Yeah, that's the chart. It's OW64. I mean, I'm thinking that because Shohei Ohtani created an OW64, I went and bought the website, OW64.com. Okay. So 4 letters, it costs money. Okay, let's do this. Any other questions? Santos, now's a great time to ask. It's all you.
So where do we go from here?
Okay, well, here's my question to you. Do you want to work in Australian time zone? You want to work in North American time zone? You want to work with both Brenton and I? Do you want to work with me? It's really your preference. I have no obstacles when it comes to what the learner feels better with for a coach or, even 2 people. It doesn't matter to me. But what works, but regardless of who you say you want to work, the next step, I think, is we do a free meeting. You get your presidents involved or whoever, you're going to create an OW64 with. You create it. You get them excited to say, what comes next? And I think that is the perfect question, because then from there, we can engage on a much different and deeper level and meaningful level with regularity. Okay? So just do another meeting and create one of these with your team. And, depending on your time, like right now is a great time for both Brenton and I every Wednesday.
So I'm in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Eastern time here. Yeah. And I'll work with anyone who wants to work with me.
Okay. So, all right. Brenton, you wanna work with Santos?
Yeah, this timing is good. Around about this time for me is a good timing, Santos. I mean, I think take it one step at a time. I mean, I think have a bit more of a read. I mean, I think use Harada yourself and to get your knowledge around, so you're actually living, you're teaching and coaching from your own personal experience. So I'd be encouraging you to actually start learning the Harada Method personally and bring it into your life. So when you're teaching and coaching, you've got that experience behind you. But yeah, I echo what George says. I mean, there's no pressure either way. And come along to another meet. We're here next week. Tune in. In the meantime, do some homework. Get excited. Get. Jesus, I really want to do this.
You want to do it before? If you want to do it before next week, we just set up a meeting. Both Brenton and I will join, and let's go to it. Because this might work out well, because you might say, look, I want to create a consortium. And if you want to create a consortium, Brenton and I both have done this. So we'll create something where a flyer goes out to the world. Anybody interested in this new system, we're going to do information sessions every month. We'll set it up every month. And Brenton and I will walk everybody through it, right? Because we got the world covered. That's what Brenton and I were trying to do with time zones. Get the world covered. I don't care what time zone, 24-hour service. So why don't you send me, and I'll send it to Brenton, but send me an email with your next thoughts.
I agree. But and also, I think once again, I think immerse yourself in Harada Method. You know, really get it. I mean, the 60. If you think the 64 chart's got some power, you know, wait until you get in. Wait until you actually get into the other four main charts and the actual process and the day-to-day using, and all of a sudden, a whole another world opens up to you. It's a bit like I was saying before, Santos. Goal. Yeah, I've got that. Off I go. Well, no, come back. No. Harada, there's a lot more in it than that one first snapshot.
Yeah. We've both learned a lot over 15 years of doing this.
That's
so
true, actually.
Yeah, I've 45 years of working in the space industry. I started to hate the question, what are you doing 5 years from now?
Hold on. What space industry?
The American space industry.
Really? Because I worked in aerospace. And I worked as the Director of Continuous Improvement for the Joint Strike Fighter program, probably one of the worst programs ever invented. So,
yeah, I started with IBM. I worked for Lockheed Martin for about 12 years. Mm-hmm. And currently I'm working for BAE Systems for now 25 years.
BAE Systems, we delivered to in the UK, who was delivering to Fort Worth, mm-hmm. Texas, to get the stuff done. Wow, pretty amazing. Okay. Santos, last question for you. Can I create a video, put it up on my website, and then what you can do is based on my shortened version, you could say, George, it's good, or George, take it off and don't share this, or this, and then I'll redo it. You okay with that?
I'm good.
Good. So I'll send you an email when it's done and up on the site. And Brenton, I want to thank you very much for today, as usual, and I'll see you next week. And I'll have
Absolutely,
next week's
George.
Topic posted the same way I did today.
Yeah, no, that works well, George. Yeah, give me a couple of days to think of them, and so I can add some value.
Nice.
All the best, George. And good to meet you, Santos. I wish you well.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
same here.
We get your organization organized and get people. I'll send you that other Open Windows 64 chart too. Seemed like a good one that it just spit out. Okay, take care, Santos. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye.